The following contains violence, coarse language, and adult situations not suitable for minors. Viewer discretion is advised.
Brutal!
Why was that hot? I'm sorry, I had to do that. Anyway.
There will come a day when we're just big enough that Team 4-Star will find this and probably copyright strike us.
They're in no position to copyright strike anybody, considering that
fair.
Toei constantly copyright strikes them.
It would be fairly hypocritical of them to do that.
How dare you use our stolen content? Or how dare you steal our stolen content?
It was transformative though, so it is under copyright.
Yes, we'll copyright the copyright legacy. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wandering Tavern. We've wandered back into the realm of Lilly Orchard and her, wife and their
her wife
Sith
that she abuses.
Insurgent fan fiction.
I'm so glad you wrote me in on this. I have found the gossip blogs on Tumblr about Lilly Orchard, so I might be able to give some context to things if it comes up. And I do love some hot tea. But as for this, let's fucking read this shit. It starts with Kylo Ren, so it's got to be fucking amazing.
Should we do a quick recap for our audience?
I think that's good.
So basically, yeah, hold on. We need to go back because Cedar hasn't seen this.
Last time on Cringe.
So last time, Lilly Orchard's OC, Do Not Steal, which by the way, this is what she looks. This is what the OC looks like, and this is what Rey looks like, presumably in her world.
What the fuck?
Is
very children's book-esque.
Yeah, okay, so I'm honestly fine with that. That's not as insulting as the proportional sizes of her, like
the head.
Their head, big head's fine. It's the arms, and it's the fact that her whole fucking body is the body of a 9-year-old comparatively to Rey, or Rey has the body size of a big fucking massive man. They're just not equal. She looks like a child. Like
supposedly Rey is like a head taller than her from what she described.
Oh no, like take your fingers, put them at the tips of Rey's shoulders, and then go and put it at the tip of the OC shoulder. And yeah, she's half the width of Rey, or Rey's twice the length of her. The red makeup, you know what honestly it looks like? It looks like one of those presets that like she played SWTOR, like Star Wars The Old Republic, and it was one of those shitty ass makeup things, but
yeah.
So it doesn't look like bad makeup, it looks like generic and uncreative.
Yeah, SWTOR, like early on, has really good writing.
Oh yeah, no,
SWTOR is probably something I definitely want to play through on stream, just with a couple people.
If you ever do the fucking agent storyline, that's close to my heart. I actually met my fiance on SWTOR.
The Imperial Agent, I love the Imperial Agent.
That's
the
what
Imperial Agent's such a good storyline.
Oh yeah,
so I've watched. So on YouTube, there's channels that have basically just cut down all the gameplay to the cutscenes.
Ooh yeah.
And I was work from home, so I can watch it. So I just put it on YouTube and have it play in the background. The Imperial Agent's my favorite. They always, because whatever they do, they're super like Empire all the way, motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, that's so good. But hold on, Legacy said something about. Let's not talk about the abomination with the comedically large eyebrows. There's no eyebrows on eyelashes.
Yeah. Like the fact that Rey's eyelashes pop slightly out of her silhouette.
I think their eyebrows are literally 2 pixels wide, Like, bitch, get on the trends, bushy eyebrows, or what's it right now?
Apparently, sometimes Ray trades in junk for mascara.
So
That's fantasy makeup bullshit. Well, no, I can believe it. You'd be surprised what fucking women will do to get some goddamn makeup. These bitches be anyway, yeah.
So Lilly Orchard's OC, Do Not Steal, has landed on Jakku in an ancient Fury interceptor, like an ancient old Empire Fury interceptor, which would have, the last time they would have been relevant within wartime would have been in the era of Darth Bane.
Oh damn! What the fuck?
Yeah, straight up, like this ancient Fury class warship.
3,000 years old at the youngest.
Oh my gosh!
That is now that is missing a hyperdrive coil. Bless you.
Actually,
So
no,
she goes to
1,000 years.
Jakku and finds Rey, who installs a hyperdrive coils that this Sith found, and she's not hiding that she's a Sith or anything.
Yeah, even though she's heard tales of the Jedi, and also she wouldn't know how to. I can just barely edge out her understanding how to bypass a compressor, whatever the fuck that means. But install hyperdrive core on an ancient piece of technology with probably incompatible software.
Incompatible parts, incompatible everything.
Yeah, sorry, I'm parts and everything.
So, and then basically they OC decides, hey, I'm just gonna feed Rey as she does her work, and then send her away with a bunch of fucking rations, and then the beginning of the Force Awakens happens.
Oh, you left out the part that she's a lesbian and she wants to fuck Rey.
They're space lesbians. I was 100% sure that would come up in the next chapter anyway, so I wasn't gonna worry about it.
And then also she's a Sith, and her protocol droid just straight up name drops her Sith title. She's called Darth Amarosa.
Amarosa. That's pretty typical. I'm not surprised that the only reason she'd be writing this is if she had, some tinglies for Rey. These don't get written unless they're horny. I don't think I can think of any single one of these that is written for the sole purpose of getting horny with a character.
Especially with OCs involved.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole point of AO3. It's almost like a mutually agreed upon cringe when we all engage in this. It's like when you go to 4chan, you just have to mutually agree to the cringe.
/fics only for me. OCs are limited because male characters can be shipped happily.
Oh, yeah. It's all hail the Mpreg. All hail the fucking actual IRL Megaverse books were written, first posted to the site.
Oh, I hate Impreg. It's awful.
It's so
always cringe.
Up. You know what Omegaverse is, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Caesar, do you know what Omegaverse is?
I do not.
We'll ruin Caesar's innocence later. We have to get through this because these chapters are not of insignificant length, and I'm sure we'll get distracted.
Wait, scroll up a little bit. It'll actually give me the character or the word count. Let's see. Words. Oh, what the fuck?
Okay.
47 chapters.
There's 47 chapters.
300.
Oh, and she's not even fucking done. Like, look. There's only 42 chapters done.
Oh, so 42 of 47.
So is Omegaverse just a bunch of Fujo crap?
Oh, we'll get into that later, son. That's a new world. Fucking Little Mermaid style.
I forgot this was one of the tags. 2 traumatized lesbians finding each other.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there's some weird shit.
Oh yeah, these fucking homophobia. Oh guys, we're gonna deal with Star Wars homophobes.
Anti-Raylo.
Married couple. I guess they're gonna get married later on.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like those types of things, these tags really kind of like, pull into what things. The Opieverse, that's a terrible name, Optimus Prime. Oh, do you know Legacy what the Omegaverse is? But we'll get back to that. Just answer me.
Apparently, this is supposed to be part of a fucking series.
Oh my god, part 1 of the Star Wars.
Writing more. This is only part 1.
Usually, sometimes the series, so what they have is if they're parts, is that they will make called one-offs that aren't part of the canon but have the characters together, and that's usually where they just write porn of their characters. So that's probably where, if you click on that, we can see if there's any raid porn.
Yeah,
chapters.
this is a teen and up one, so I'm assuming there's no graphic sex. Which
I forgot.
I'm okay with.
Oh yeah, people actually don't post straight up porn sometimes.
Yeah. Which,
Alright,
depending on your mood, may be what you go for. Alright.
Anyway.
So
Chapter 2, swing your lightsaber like it's a club.
The fuck?
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. What the that's an awful fucking I know what they're trying to do. There's no like rhythm I can hear in that. Swing your club like it's a club. Wait. Swing your lightsaber like it's a club. I said
unless it's a quote someone says at some point in the story. I don't see why this is the title of the chapter.
I guess because Kylo Ren swings his lightsaber like a nutcase.
I mean, not incorrect. But it's just I would blame that on the shitty choreography.
Right. The lack of rhythm in the writing. That's what it does it for me. But let's read this bitch.
Yes. At long last, we begin.
Kylo Ren was deeply disturbed. More so than usual. The rest of the crew had noticed. The finalizer had been extremely quiet ever since he'd returned. Okay.
Hold on. The finalizer? What the fuck? What in God's unobtainium bullshit name?
Is that the name of his ship?
I assume so.
Okay, I gotta see if that's a real thing. See Wikipedia.
Oh my god!
I have to see if people at Disney were dumb enough to make that a real name.
The finalizer. It could very well be from the books. You don't know.
Oh god! Oh god! It's real. It's fucking real. That's the name.
No.
Disney did not do that.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. It's on Wikipedia. It's a Star Destroyer.
Oh no! Is it Disney era or is it pre? Let's see.
Disney era. It's on Discord.
I pulled it up. Let's see. Does it have a date? Oh wait, no, it is
First Order.
It's part of the First Order. No.
Oh my god. The finalizer. Not, the Devastator.
I would laugh at Devastator.
The Devastator. What's like? I think Vader's personal ship was named like the Shadow or something.
The finalizer.
Like, all of the Empire era Star Destroyer names are fucking great because they're all like dark and menacing sounding. But this shit, the finalizer.
You know what also that means? That if it's a real thing, that she had to go and she was like, what are the names of the Death Star or the Star Destroyers in this particular scene?
Just to recap, Joe, and we've read through 1, 2, 3 sentences. Not even 3, actually. We've read through 2.5.
Yes, Kylo Ren has a Star Destroyer called the Finalizer, and this is an actual thing in the Disney canon. Lilly did not make this up.
The Finalizer had been extremely quiet ever since he'd returned, which was a pleasant change from the Dark Jedi. His usual screaming and lightsaber damage every other week.
Wow. Oh, that's such a shitty sentence.
Cue the audience laughter, or cue the laugh track.
The Dominatrix, that would be a kick-ass fucking.
I'm pretty sure that's what Lumaya's, the Dark Lady Lumaya's
yeah.
Star Destroyers were named.
Oh
Kinky.
my god. I
Although,
know, right?
to be fair, Lumaya's a fucking boss. Like, if ever there was a Disney villain, there was a female Star Wars villain that deserved to be given a TV show or an on-screen appearance, it would be Lumaya.
I only ever see her in a pornographic context. I have never stumbled across her that was not being thirsted.
I mean, there's a reason she's thirsted. Like she was at one point the Empire's like top assassin after Mara Jade left, and then then the Empire fell, and she basically spent the rest of her days like learning the dark side, and then she took on and almost killed Luke.
Ooh, she even has a whip, a lightsaber whip.
To be fair, this is pre-Grandmaster Luke, so he's not at the peak of his power, but he's certainly one of the most powerful Jedi to have.
She has a whip. I can only just see that they made this sexy as fuck character that they all wanted to fap over, but ended up giving her a really cool story. But every design choice I am hearing and like seeing about her is just fat material. I think it's so goddamn funny.
I mean, her design doesn't really look that much like fat material.
I don't know. Maybe only.
I guess at least not the official art.
Let's see the official art. As I said, I've never.
Let me pull it up.
No, I just stumble across it every now and then. You know, you can't. Am I talking really loud? I just never see this character that's not being sexualized in its conception.
Yeah, this is Lumaya.
Oh wait, I thought you were talking about the Twilight girl.
No.
Oh,
No,
okay, so we're completely off base.
Darth Talon?
Darth Talon, that's who it is.
Yeah. This is Lumaya.
This is Lumaya. Okay, that's cool.
She a fucking boss bitch.
I need to get more familiar. I don't know. Who the fuck's Darth Talon then?
And then there's who Kylo Ren should have been. You know, Darth Titus.
Oh yeah. Isn't that Han and Leia's kid?
Like he's Han and Leia's kid, and he Lumaya turns him to the dark side after the Yuuzhan Vong War, and like he basically plunges the entire galaxy into a second civil war, like single-handedly.
And then here's fucking Lily's OC who gets gay kisses from Rey, out of character Rey.
Exactly.
Because Rey doesn't have any sexuality. She is forbidden by the writers to express any.
Except in that last minute, except within the last 10 minutes.
When she
the Rise of Skywalker, where she kisses what is effectively her brother. The movie.
Spiritual brother. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something that has familial connection, but that's why it just feels so wrong. It feels so out of character for Rey to do that, because Rey has this expressed no flirting. Like, I know that she nearly has hand sex with Kylo Ren, but there wasn't it didn't seem like romantic attraction on her end. Wasn't Rey a young kid in the story?
I don't believe so. No, she's the same age she is when The Force Awakens happens.
Yeah, it's right before the event.
She's in
this is a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think it's like the day before, actually.
Yeah, she meets OC the day before, and then like within the next few hours, The Force Awakens begins, and OC has just been inserted into the plot.
Ray sucked it out Ren's soul with that last kiss. Yep.
She needed to maintain her Mary Sue status.
They wanted to put Rayla was so vocal that I guess they felt like they had to play into it. They were so scared of Rian Johnson's fuck off attitude that they were like, we're just gonna have them kiss.
All right. Stormtrooper deaths had dropped 80% in the last day alone, and General Hux seemed to be a lot less tense than usual. Is he on a regular basis? Is Kylo Ren just kills his own men?
That is a trope for Siths. It's such a stupid fucking one that it has no thought into it. It sounds like it's more. This is all a big fucking diss to Kylo Ren.
Yeah, it is, and what made the reason that Sith kill people that fail them is to teach others a lesson. Be like, do not fuck up, or I will kill you.
Mm-hmm. You know what this is? This is actually... It's supposed to reflect on Kylo and not on Lilly. Lilly knows that this concept is retarded, and it's supposed to reflect badly on Kylo that he has this trait. And so this is a roundabout way where we think Lilly is stupid for writing this. I think she's aware of it. I don't know if that made any sense. I'm so sorry.
And I think it got lost in the shuffle a little bit there.
That's fine. I felt it.
Ren, on the other hand, was anything but pleased. Okay, so if he's just a screaming, damaging shit with his lightsaber baby that kills his own men on a regular basis, why is everything quiet?
Wait, hold on.
Like the ship is described as extremely quiet. We get the context that that the ship is frequently disturbed by Kylo Ren basically throwing temper tantrums and killing his men. But right now he's just not pleased. And he's not following this part of his nature? Like, what? Did you not read through that and realize, hey, that doesn't make sense? Why is he not pleased but not throwing a temper tantrum?
Not pleased, but yeah, there's some gaps in here. I could stitch it together. I don't even know what the fuck he's trying to say in all this. It's so confusing.
He'd felt a surge in the dark side after Tanul was destroyed. He thought it was from the brutality he'd enforced on the village, but it had come from somewhere distant on Jakku. He hadn't been able to pinpoint it before it was gone, but he'd felt enough to know someone strong in the dark side of the Force was on the planet. How strong, he couldn't tell yet. He couldn't yet tell. Ugh. But strong enough to warrant investigation.
I have to point something out. She started every single sentence with a preposition, or he or Ren. There's no other sentence starters. That's really awful writing.
Yeah,
he, the.
It's boring.
Yeah.
Primarily the problem.
Penguin with a gun is... Sorry, chat says a penguin with a gun is more threatening than Kylo. True.
Oh, that's cool. I can put people in timeout. Don't misbehave, chat. I'll put you in timeout. My lord, came the voice of a stormtrooper. Yes, Ren asked, turning his head only slightly to acknowledge him. What a weird...
Why call him Ren? What's with this referring to him as Ren and not Kylo?
Kylo would be more appropriate. His order is the Knights of Ren. Ren is Kylo. Ren is equivalent to the Darth title. Presumably, I mean, the the movies never flesh that out because Abrams is a
Uh-huh.
hack writer.
He's a hack writer, but all the other characters refer to him by just Kylo, and so that's why it feels inappropriate here, is because he's not referred to as Ren.
I think Hux refers to him as Ren a couple of times,
Does he?
and it's implied, at least in the scenes I'm pulling from my memory here. Or I will not force myself to sit through this trilogy of movies ever again, probably.
Not even stoned
but-
off your gourd with me.
I might. Stoned off my gourd, I might. But, like, it's implied that when Hux does it, either Kylo isn't there, or it's implied to be disrespectful. Like, it's disrespectful on Hux's part towards Kylo.
It might be too casual. If it's disrespectful on his part, it's probably like informal, too informal to be addressing him with. It's still fucking weird. I don't like it. Just call him Kylo.
Yeah. And then why does Kylo just answer yes instead of like report or something akin to actually receiving important information from one of your men?
Or some actually be like fucking cool and literally just delete. Yes, Ren asked. He says he turned his head only slightly to acknowledge him. That'd be fucking cool.
Exactly. But that would make Kylo Ren look good.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Which we know is not the objective of this writing.
That is not allowed, and she's also not that creative.
The scouts have come back from their survey. They found an ancient Fury-class Imperial interceptor sitting in a dune an hour from Nema Outpost.
I read that as furry class.
I think it is furry.
Wait,
it is furry.
No, that's Fury. That's one R.
Yeah, it's missing an R.
Okay. At least I wasn't completely retarded. At least it's slightly similar.
Okay. I don't think it's that type of fan fiction. I don't think we're going that direction.
I just like to think that she put in a fucking furry Imperial interceptor, which is just painted with a giant furry, because that's about as much since that's about the tone she set here at the beginning of that.
It just has like ooh woo written on the painted on the side.
Kylo Ren would have ooh woo painted on his fucking desk.
I'd believe it.
I miss Hot Topic Kylo Ren after the first movie. People were emo Kylo Ren Twitter. That's what I'm here for.
The initial report suggests. Did you say Fury class? Ren asked, slowly standing up. Wait, what? No, why would you interrupt? Like he's in the middle of giving you more information. Why would you interrupt this?
Well, even if she was to interrupt it, or Kylo to interrupt it, he should have interrupted it right after he said Fury class Imperial Interceptor, and then he goes Fury class. He went all this other extra fucking information, and then Red's like, let's go back 3 hours and talk about the first part of your report.
Yeah, like
it's so awkward.
Yeah. Also, where the fuck is that droid that we're supposed to be looking for?
Yes. And what did the initial report suggest? So he's about, you interrupt him and then demand he tell you what he was already going to tell you.
I know, this is such an awful structure. He should have just to have the same thing is interrupted at Fury class, clarified, a little more exposition, and then he goes, the initial support suggests, and then goes on with the next of
like straight up, the way this could have been written is like when the trooper enters, Kylo turns his head to acknowledge him, and like waves his hand to give him so he can start his report. As soon as he hears Fury class, he actually Kylo turns and faces the stormtrooper. Like, that has caught my attention. What are you telling me now?
Oh yeah, I actually care now about what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Just turning and okay, this is where it's just another report. Blah blah blah. Wait, Fury class. Hold up. Now I'm paying attention.
Now you have my attention. All right, let's see. What does the initial support suggest?
They saw a young woman leave and return to the ship several times over the night. And a lightsaber was on her belt. Okay, so how have you come by this information?
No, that's not important. They want to get to the gay.
No, I want to know. Like, okay, so there are scouts, presumably. So they're watching her probably from a distance, as you know, scouts are wont to do.
Yeah, with pair of
And
binoculars.
they were able to identify, able to see a woman dressed in all black, by the way.
Dark skin too.
Yeah. Move from the ship out and back several times. And remember, as far as we are aware, the First Order was not on this planet up until about like a couple hours ago, maybe. So OC has been on the planet at least all day. So when did these scouts find her?
Oh, they magic some information.
And then these scouts at a distance were able to see and identify the weapon on her, the weapon at her hip, instead of just assuming that long cylindrical shape might be a long barreled blaster she has.
I could feel like, well, this is writing the story for Lily, so actually don't take it as a compliment. But I can assume myself that they had binoculars, something to zoom in. That's a common trope in Star Wars. I don't know. I don't take as much issue with that.
Oh god, I'm reading on ahead, and I have several questions.
Wasn't her OC just gonna pump and dump Ray at first?
I don't think so. Actually, yes, it is implied that OC would have just slept with Ray and left.
Oh god, is that what the back and forth from the ship is?
Yeah, I wonder, does it? So I wondered, would you like stick her lightsaber handle through like a strap-on harness?
Oh my god, maybe. Oh god, what does Legacy say? Black is overused, but I still use it in my art. It's just too cool for character design. It depends on how you use it. It's that these people don't know how to design characters. It is actually a skill. So don't feel bad for using black.
All right.
Is this woman a Jedi?
Is this woman a Jedi? Ren asked. He knew that was impossible. So
Oh,
why did you
fucking
ask? There were no Jedi left. He'd personally seen to that. Okay, if you have personally seen to it that there are no Jedi left, why did you ask this question?
Yeah.
Nevertheless,
of course, there's no Jedi left. We have to.
The
we have to
Jedi
push the
were
reset
historically
button.
resilient.
I know sometimes that he knew it was impossible. There was no Jedi left when that's false information is actually the dialogue inside the character's head. But you're right. He wouldn't ask if this was a Jedi. Someone else would have to bring up that concept. And he'd be in like denial.
Always coming back from one purge after another, just as powerful as ever. I mean, that's not
two purges.
Incorrect, but why? But why would he ask him? Why would he have this dialogue within his own head? No, Commander. The trooper shook his head. We ran scans of her through the recognition database, and the results were inconclusive. Yes,
through the recognition database, through the find someone database, guys. On the I don't know him database. God,
yeah, exactly.
Apparently all the Jedi are registered or something.
Registered sex offenders.
Yes, Ren gestured for him to continue. She's a Sith Lord. There have been rumors and sightings regarding the Sith all across the galaxy for the last few years, the trooper explained, bracing himself and waiting for a lightsaber to strike him.
And wait, and Palpatine never did anything about this.
Oh yeah, no. There's Sith Lords competing him, breaking the rule of two. And also, a fucking stormtrooper would know what a Sith Lord is. Also, there's a fucking registration somewhere of being a licensed Sith Lord. That isn't
Apparently.
some weird fucking wizardry only Kylo
Right.
would know about.
And yeah, how the fuck do they know she's a Sith? How did they come to that conclusion?
How do they even know like a Sith exists? They shouldn't even be aware of the concept of Sith or Sith Lord, especially Sith Lord. He just knows the Emperor is the Emperor, and Kylo Ren is just the whiny piss baby that has a lightsaber. At least in this case. Ren seemed to lose his composure as he turned and looked out toward Jakku. The surge in the dark side he'd felt before. The surge in the dark side he'd felt. That's a fucking incomplete sentence.
The surge. I guess surge would be the verb here. Yeah, the verb
This
isn't
is a
acting on
preposition.
anything.
It's a preposition. That's why this is. It says Ren seemed to lose composure as he turned and looked out towards. No, it's incomplete.
Yep, there's nothing. There's no subject, unless the
Uh-huh.
dark side is the subject.
Nope, there's no subject. This is a preposition or like the end part of the sentence that's missing the first half. There was no mistaking it now. There was a Sith Lord on Jakku.
We're just apparently going to ignore the whole plot about Kylo Ren trying to find the map to Luke Skywalker.
Hold on. Shall I organize an attack force, Commander? The trooper asked. No. Ren shook his head. Continue your search for the droid. I will visit this Sith personally. She's a potential ally. Why?
She's an enemy. Yeah, she's a fucking threat.
Like, look. All right.
Yeah.
So let's remember how the Clone Wars brought back Darth Maul, because ridiculous as that kind of was, the end of that series, Maul takes over Mandalore. Sidious literally, personally, he gets in his ship, flies to Mandalore, and walks his ass into Maul's throne room.
And fucks a bitch up.
And fucks both their days up. And he's just like, and Maul's initial reaction is like, Master, I have done all of this for you. Ooh, and he's like, you are no longer my apprentice. You're a rival. And I will not tolerate that.
I know.
And basically proceeds to kick his shit in.
Doesn't he make Maul cry?
Yes.
He's like I'm not sure if there's tears on face, but he's basically fucking crying and weeping for how much this dude is fucking him up.
Like, at the end of the fight, Sidious is just like zapping Maul with Force Lightning. And that's it. Because Maul has at that point taken on Savage Opress as his apprentice. Like, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
So Maul is to Sidious a rival. Why would Kylo Ren allow for a potential challenger to his rule or his master? If Snoke found out about this, why would he allow for that? Even if Snoke is Palpatine and basically Palpatine's puppet, which let's not get into that.
So you're saying Palpatine's behind it all? Wow.
Yeah. So again, Palpatine didn't tolerate a rival that was at one time someone he absolutely had total control over, and is now perfectly okay to let this random Sith OC just roam around the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and she's a potential ally. It's not a known thing that Sith are incredibly hostile towards each other.
And actively move within
in
their own ranks to destroy one another.
There's no thought process. There's no thinking. It's just immediately, I must visit the Sith personally. I can say that him wanting to see her personally makes sense. And then he just goes, she's a potential ally. I'm like, there's no thought. There's no like maybe you sitting there and you thinking this out, wondering what it could be. So she's
Oh,
a potential ally or a
and then-
dangerous.
In his head, he added, or a dangerous enemy.
It's
What?
fucking stupid as shit.
Jesus. All right.
Yeah, you don't know how many fucking times I probably read that bullshit.
Oh God, ugh, that art. Look at her. Look at her right arm.
She doesn't
it's-
like drawing
It's
hands.
like shriveled up. Like I get she's putting it behind her back, but I guess in her attempt to make it look like there's depth to it, it just looks like the arm's shriveled up. Well, actually, is Lilly Orchard the artist for this? Or
I
is
think
it...
it's her wife.
No, it's her wife. But OC is about to take on Kylo Ren, and I will say that at least Kylo Ren's lightsaber looks interesting here, but it's the only thing really in the foreground.
The irregular lines upset me.
Yeah, it
On
is. It
the
is
machine.
slightly off kilter.
Like, I guess it's fine if you're doing these quickly, but it's really not hard to make a straight line in these programs. You just hold shift, buddy.
Yeah, always get commissions from a good artist,
Yeah.
like Cedar.
Ah, yes. Plug. Anyway.
Eliana was exhausted. Her clothes were filled with sand, which she was coming to find a truly horrible substance. Is that weird to anybody else, or is that just me?
Reread it.
Which she was coming to find a truly horrible substance.
This is an old type of speak. This
Her
is like
clothes
she's
were
been
filled with
reading a
sand,
lot
which
of
was
19
coming to
books.
find a truly horrible substance. Is this supposed to be a nod to the "I hate sand" line?
Yes.
I think so.
Hold on. First of all, it's two thoughts to the same. Her clothes are filled with sand, which she was coming to find a truly. It's awkward.
It's a
It's
horrible
Yeah,
substance.
it's awkward. Okay, thank you. I thought for a second it was just me.
No, I was reading it. It's something that it was something that I would write and I would go read through again and fix before I posted it.
And her search throughout the night had yielded no results. It seemed whatever had sped off into the desert was truly lost unless a scavenger found it. Eliana didn't even know what she was looking for, just that the trail had gone cold after a desert wind had kicked the dune up around it. Without knowing what she was looking for, she couldn't have 2V scan for it. Okay, so 2V is her droid.
Wow, that's so clever.
2V is
R2, but with the number in front and with a cooler sounding letter.
yeah. Also, 2V is about as old as the ship.
Fucking cores. Joe says, "Let me guess, the OC is gonna beat him." You fucking know it.
Probably.
Has Kylo Ren ever wanted a lightsaber duel against the main character?
He won against Finn.
Finn's not a force
Okay.
user.
Don't know if
That
that
doesn't count.
counts.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say Kylo won a lightsaber fight against his father. Skewered him. Utterly despise small particles of small rocks called sand. That's basically how it writes.
It was early morning when she made it back to her ship, kicking herself for continuing to dawdle on getting a speeder, where she continued trudging through the sand and thought of a future wash and nap being the thought of a future wash and nap being the driving power to keep her walking.
Nope, it's not finished. That thought isn't complete.
When she saw a shuttle land just a few meters from her ship. So, yeah, this thought is incomplete.
Let me see if I can say it with a cadence she means. She continued trudging through the sand, the thought of a future wash and a nap being the driving power to keep her walking.
On my straw. Stop that.
Cutie chewing straw.
He does. If I bring a drink into my room or actually anywhere with a straw, he will come and he will chew on it.
Is your cat just trying to go in solidarity? Because I think your cat's gay. Gobbling the straws.
Well, he's neutered, so he shouldn't be having that kind of urge.
I'm so sorry.
A
Anyway,
first order shuttle.
wah wah wah.
But okay, so from an internal universe perspective, I understand why this sentence is here. But from a reader's perspective, we already know who this is. We already know what who this shuttle contains. Like it's not as if this is a major twist. This is like M. Night Shyamalan appearing in his movies, being like, "What a twist!"
What a twist! Oh my god, it really is. It's...
And all right, so beginning a sentence with "and."
There can be exceptions, breaking the rule with fiction writing, but it's still bad.
Yeah. A tall hooded figure in a vented helmet.
No, stop it with these. That's not a complete sentence.
A tall hooded figure in a vented helmet.
You know what? Usually this is in the style of like he was, and the occupant was blocking the ramp. A tall hooded figure in a vented helmet.
Why not write it? A hooded figure blocked the ramp and was blocking the ramp in a vented helmet. Or a hooded figure in a vented helmet was blocking the ramp. You communicate the same message, but it doesn't sound awful.
I know. I think this is an awful way of like being like dun dun dun. I think that's an extension of it. What the fuck? I thought I recognized him as Kylo Ren, the Dark Jedi who commanded the First Order. Oh. Yeah, so what's Kylo's actual divination? Is he a Dark Jedi? Because there's a difference between Dark Jedi.
According to I believe the source material from Disney, Kylo Ren is a Dark Jedi.
Oh, okay.
He's not an actual Sith.
And the Knights of Ren aren't even Dark Jedi at all, are they? Or the other members?
They're not
Who
even
knows?
Force users. They're just there's some fuckwads in a band wearing matching shirts.
God, such wasted opportunity. That's like the saddest part about the entire sequel trilogy is that it could have been something really interesting if it was handled by competent people.
Honestly, I didn't hate their overarching ideas. I think they executed it in literally the most insulting way possible.
Be like, here's our ideas. First Order.
Yeah.
We have a Galactic Empire faction. We have the good guys, and they're going to be the Resistance. And then we have new powers emerging in the galaxy of both light and darkness.
That's stupid fucking.
Just combine them all together, Star Wars. But instead of taking those ideas, flushing them out, and making them more interesting, it was nostalgia bait, nostalgia bait, nostalgia bait, nostalgia bait, nostalgia bait. Oh, Ryan Johnson takes over, picks this concept up, throws it in the garbage, and calls it deconstruction, and then JJ has to basically rewrite the entire trilogy in one movie.
Yep, fucking dumbass. Legacy says the Knights of Ren is a stupid name. No, it's stupid in a cool way. Okay, so Star Wars always has a little level of cheese to it.
Villains always have stupid names in Star Wars. It's par for the course.
Yeah, it's par for the course. There's silliness in it. So Knights of Ren, is not the trend. Sidious, Darth Sidious, or Vader, Invader, or
Maul, General Grievous, Savage Opress.
So fucking Savage Opress, Savage Opress.
Darth Plagueis.
Plagueis. What is it? The one that I hate the most? Scourge. Fucking Scourge is the coolest thing. Just listen to his name.
Oh yeah. You mean Dirge? Are we talking about two different characters?
No, I'm talking
from
about
KOTOR 2.
Okay, there's a guy named Dirge.
Oh wait, no. Scourge is from KOTOR 2. Who am I talking about? He kills. Spoiler: he kills Revan, and some bullshit, and he's from SWTOR.
Depending on when you encounter it. It's Malgus is one of them.
Oh.
Malgus is one of them, and honestly, Malgus I'm fine with because he's actually a really, really cool character.
No, Malgus is cool. It's red face with the tentacles in the Jedi Warrior story.
He's.
I don't think it did, Joe Crazy.
I think his name. You get to choose it, and it's like.
No, he's in the Revan book. The Revan book. This guy.
Yeah, oh, that's Scourge.
Yeah, that's Skirt. That's what I was saying, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. No. I was confused for a second, but
Scourge has I like Scourge though. Scourge is a really interesting character.
I've actually played the actual Jedi Warrior lineup, and I'd like him too. But all I know is that he bitch stabbed my favorite characters. But
he bitch stabbed Mitra.
I fucking hate that name, but yes.
He bitch stabbed Mitra, which was like the worst name they could have ever given the KOTOR 2 main character. He bitch stabbed her, and then basically allowed the Emperor to finish off Revan.
Yep, because Drew Kasparian didn't write KOTOR 2, and so he hated everything about it and was like, "Fuck you! I want my Mary Sue." But Joe Crazy says, "But didn't the first sequel say the Knights of Ren consisted of other Jedi students?" Oh, fuck me. If I remember that far back.
So, yes.
I don't think it did. I think the Last Jedi did say that Kylo in the survive. Oh wait, when Kylo destroyed Luke's Jedi Temple, he killed everybody except for a small handful of Jedi who agreed to go with them. So you would assume that those guys, all of them together, formed the Knights of Ren, but the next movie never confirms that. They don't even have lightsabers, so for all we know, no. They're
Didn't
just.
one of them have a fucking morning star?
Yes. So the stubborn aftertaste of the late Galactic Empire. I guess. Okay, so I guess in this universe, the First Order has emerged from the remnants of the Galactic Empire, which is more than we got in the movies, to be fair.
To be fair, yeah.
I mean, I think the opening title crawl to Force Awakens did say that they were like Imperial remnants.
Yeah, but they wrote that knowing no one was gonna fucking read it.
This wasn't good.
The evolutionary Gilgamesh, the exile. I'd fucking go against a guy named Gilgamesh. That's funny as hell.
Being on the First Order's radar was exactly what she wanted to avoid. Now, one of its highest officers was standing outside her ship. Eliana approached with her guard up and her hand hovering just over her lightsaber.
That's
Hello,
not clever.
Yeah. Hello, Sith, in what was probably supposed to be a friendly voice. It was difficult to tell from the garbling of his helmet's voice filter. Eliana growled back. What do you want, Jedi?
Hold on. I hate this. I know what she's doing. She's not picking a perspective of the character. Ren is talking, but the prose is in his voice as if we're in his head, but she's doing the same thing with Eliana. Ren said in what was probably supposed to be a friendly voice, because she shouldn't know who Ren is. Wait, no, she did. Oh, I'm so fucking sorry. I'm a fucking retard. I'll shut up for a while.
This is from Eliana's perspective. Like, it's not that screwed up, but I can see why you would think of it. Why it would lead you to believe that she's bouncing between the two.
Yeah, it feels like it.
I am no Jedi. His voice cracking ever so slightly.
I am no Jedi.
I guess that's how it's supposed to be read.
I am no Jedi. So finally,
you aren't Sith either. Okay. All right. So Lily, I'm just gonna say this right now. You have not defined, at least within your reinterpretation of this story, what a Jedi and what a Sith are. Therefore, these honorifics mean dick.
It could mean so many different things.
This entire conversation means fuck all. Because we, the audience, do not understand the context for what a Jedi is and what a Sith is.
Especially if you've only ever been in like the new Star Wars stuff and you don't know all of the extra stuff. You don't even know what a Sith is.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were as a reader coming into this because they like the new trilogy.
Well, if you
They
go
would
in,
need to know what a Sith is.
okay,
Sorry.
never mind. Yeah,
No,
go on.
go. No. That was it. I'm so sorry.
Nah, the joke sounded funnier in my head, but then when I thought about it, it wasn't as funny. Never mind.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, no, I don't mean to interrupt anyone over anyone.
Aliana spat, her hand resting. Excuse me. Can you tell I just finished eating like 20 minutes ago? Aliana spat, her hand resting on her lightsaber. And you aren't welcome here. There's no need for hostility, despite how naturally it comes to your kind.
Okay, it's
Jesus.
a good thing there's a comma next to spat. I almost thought it said that she spat on her hand, like she's gonna do a spit shake with
She
him.
spat her hand. It does look like that.
Yeah.
Aliana spat while her hand still rested on her over her lightsaber or something like that.
She's doing those things at the same time. I fucking love this. No, there's no need for hostility, despite how naturally it comes to your kind. Ren said, "Is Kylo a racist?"
Better question:
to be racist?
Is Kylo just admitting he's not a Sith?
Oh, that's true too.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Who are my people? Are you not part of my people? Do you not use the dark side?
She is a Sith. She is an ally. Like
Ren said, bowing his head slightly, as if that would abate the searing tone in his voice. I only want to talk. Then talk. Alana kept her hand on her lightsaber.
oh, she's so fucking cool.
Well, first I must know, how are the Sith still alive? I thought after all this time they would be truly extinct. Well, your master's... Is your master not a Sith? Like... Define your terms, Lily, please.
This is so...
This shit's so vague. Like, it could be
vague.
literally anything.
And hand wavy. And, like, you shouldn't know this information.
That's what most of the galaxy thought for about 1,000 years. Sith never go truly extinct. I'm the last one. Who trained you? Was it Palpatine? Vader? Or my mother?
I hate that arranging of words. Sith never go truly extinct. It should be Sith never truly go extinct.
Yeah, there exactly. You go.
Like, what does that mean? Truly, as to Sith never go truly extinct, but Sith go partially extinct.
Like, the way this is written,
he's
kind of implies that, like, there is a point where the Sith will go extinct.
They're only mostly extinct.
Like, completely.
They're only mostly extinct.
There's a difference. There's a difference between being mostly extinct and completely extinct or truly extinct. If you're mostly extinct, you're slightly in use.
Have you heard of the tragedy of Ren the racist?
Yeah. Started mouthing off to a black lady without a pass.
Yep, Ren's canceled.
Was it Palpatine? Vader? My mother. Aliana said sadly, looking away from him.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Why? Okay, so this is very clearly... Okay, so this does not make sense for Aliana's character at all.
No, she's so defensive.
She's so very on guard.
And then she's like, let me tell you my tragedy. I'm sorry, no, I'm talking over you.
She's in a situation facing down someone she did not want to... She did not want to find in her ship. So she's like ready to go, like her hand is on her weapon, And then she takes her eyes off him. Like, and why does she answer?
Yeah, exactly. Like, she shouldn't be saying shit.
Like,
You're like,
what? Who trained you? Was it Palpatine, Vader? That's not your business.
you'd be like,
It's what do you want?
but of course, you know, she can't help but making another OOC, the mother of
Yeah.
OOC, who is also more amazing than Palpatine and Vader, which is kind of the implication here.
Oh no, I saw my favorite's name mentioned, and I'm gonna
Oh,
be
no.
mad.
We'll
I'm gonna
get,
be
we'll
mad
get
here in a
to it.
minute. Darth Merrick. Darth Mayrick.
Who?
It's an
Uh,
OOC, isn't it?
yeah.
Yes.
I'm not familiar with that name. Ren tilted his head, eyeing the Sith and watching her movements carefully. You wouldn't be. My family did a good job hiding from Bane's Sith and the Empire, and from you.
Shut the fuck up.
How did okay,
No.
Bane's Order has been around for 1,000 years. How did none of them sense her family?
Better question. So, okay, so Star Wars history lesson for those who don't know. Before the rule of two Sith, which Bane created, there was the Empire, there was the ancient Sith Empire, which fell. Then there was the Brotherhood of Darkness, which was essentially the one Sith, Lord Khan, bringing together all the Sith in the galaxy into one unified front. And Khan, and the reason like Khan hate the Khan, like in the books, the reason Khan goes after Bane on more than one occasion is because Bane will not fall in line.
Mm.
Like Bane from day one, basically, from not from day one, obviously, but after a while, after his own internal review and examining of Sith philosophy, he finds Khan's Brotherhood to be lacking and starts to question things. And that cannot happen because Khan is in control here, and he's the very charismatic leader, and everybody else is under his thumb. And he literally tries to kill Bane on 3 separate occasions.
So, like, Bane has been battling uphill his whole career then. And they think,
Exactly.
oh, actually, we're hiding from Bane, you know?
Yeah. And
How
then,
did you hide? How did you hide from Bane, considering what happens at the end of book 1?
No, see, it doesn't. That's not important. She's just really cool because she can hide from Bane.
Sorry, resume, Clayton.
so Khan tries to beat the Jedi through force of arms, basically destroying the entire planet of Ruusan, by the way. After I think they returned to it in book 2. Ooh, and it's just the entire planet's fucked. Like it's like that's how bad the Sith and the Jedi, just in conflict, tearing the Force apart on this one world, screwed it up. Not to mention the multiple Sith rituals that happen there. And then you're gonna tell me that this Sith family, and I went on this rant last time, this singular Sith family not only defied Khan's Brotherhood of Darkness, was not hunted down by his people to attempt to be killed and silence them and get them out of the way. See? But did just hid from Bane's massive spy network. Bane spent basically his entire tenure as the Lord of the Sith building an information and spy network so encompassing that he was able to sit on a singular planet, push a button, and cause a civil war across the galaxy. That's how deep his influence went by the time Zana took over from him.
Oh gosh, yeah, no. They can't respect the classics. They can't.
Yeah, it's just pure bad fanfic writing.
Well, I mean, we are in AO3, but yeah.
But
It's-
why hide from your brethren? Ren asked. He was fishing for more information, but the question was sincere. The fact that there was a Sith Lord actively avoiding the First Order was troubling.
Now this is Ren's perspective.
Yeah, it is.
So
So we
he's
have.
still
So
flopping
she
around.
is jumping between the two just randomly, though.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
First
so-
Order.
Okay,
Go ahead.
All right, Eliana's entire Sith Order just comes from like her family, right? Just the family.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably, yes.
Does she not have siblings, cousins, uncles, aunts who are all Sith as well?
And she's a lesbian, so it's all gonna die with her.
Yeah. So I mean,
Presumably, also yes.
it's like every single generation they've only ever had one single child.
Yep.
One single child. They're always force sensitive. They get married. They have one single child, and then so on and so forth over the course of 1,000 years, all while avoiding every single Sith faction since the Old Republic era.
1,000 years, a family, if they have more than one child, can branch into an entire civilization in that long of a time, and they've only ever
Like,
had one.
Exactly, and
So,
somehow the Sith don't. Fuck it.
So there's actually like science to back this up. You could, in theory, repopulate the entire population of Earth, as it is now,
Mhm.
with 7 females and 3 men to maintain a pool of genetic diversity wide enough that nothing major is going to go wrong.
We won't become mules.
7 females and 3 males. That's it. Like,
yeah, that's 2 generations.
So 7 females and 3 males. Okay. So you're gonna have some boys growing up to bang some hot milfs.
yes.
Okay.
Endless MILF titties because you have to repopulate my brothers.
Yes.
Continue. Her family has a 1-child policy.
I was gonna make the joke, but I was like, we have bigger fish to fry here
So, yeah,
than making a China joke.
For 1,000 years, we've only had one single child, and now it all ends because Eliana's a lesbian. So the entire family lineage is now fucked.
Unless through the miracle of the Force, they're going to have virgin conception, which
Oh, that could actually
supposedly
happen.
Lucas was
I would
going
not be
for, but
surprised. This is like Tumblr levels of cringe, so I would not be surprised.
This is where we're at.
Now
It
you
would
put the thought in my head, Clayton. Thanks a lot.
Well, actually, you know what? That kind of puts it on a dimension that so Lilly Orchard is a trans woman, and I wonder. I mean, maybe she's projecting onto Eliana.
Does Eliana have a dick?
Yeah. Perhaps it shall live on.
And then Eliana's like, nah, I already took the bottom surgery. I'm dead. I'm completely clean underneath.
Smooth as a Kindle.
the First Order aren't my brethren, Eliana scoffed, a scowl crossing her face as she looked at Kylo Ren with utmost disdain.
Oh my god, you said the same thing 3 fucking times. Elena scoffed, contempt, a scowl crossing her face as she looked at Kylo. That's the same fucking thing. And then with the utmost disdain, she's literally repeating the fact that she is a scowl. If Lily took into account Sith siblings, then one of them would have been sold out by now.
Hold on, we're about to get Lily Orchard's definition of Sith.
Oh.
right. They idolize an empire built on deception and treachery. I gain nothing from collaborating with you. I am the Dark Lady of the Sith, not a Jedi wearing some dead man's old clothes. Your master is nothing compared to me.
Hey, these clothes are tailor-made. How dare you?
So, according to Lily, the Sith are not intended to function off deception and treachery.
which completely goes against George Lucas's vision of the Sith. Like straight from his mouth, the Sith are selfish by nature. They embody selfishness.
Mhm.
They crave power above all else.
Power for power's sake and for their ego's own sake.
The supreme leader is wise. Good comeback there, Kylo. But we can't have Kylo outwitting our OC here.
But they're
That would make OC flawed.
but Lily Orchard isn't witty enough to write a witty character, so they have to make them so fucking retarded to make their character look witty.
Yeah, exactly. Kylo Ren spat. Okay. Why would you? Why? Growing increasingly bitter. Why is Ren growing bitter? Why? This like he's just he's asking about her history, and then oh, she's insulted my master. Or be like, he will hunt you down and destroy you for your insolence.
Oh, shut the fuck up, piss baby.
What a lovely way to say you intend to lose today. Hey.
Shut the fuck up. You thought that was so fucking clever. That was so fucking cool, didn't you, Lily?
Oh, guaranteed, yes. She was like, what if he's like, he will hunt you down and destroy you? And then she's just like, yeah, what a great way to tell me that you're gonna lose.
It's so awful.
Yes, Queen Slay.
Yes, Queen. Emo Ren. I'm all here for Emo Ren, okay? Emo
With
Kylo
that, she
Ren.
activated her lightsaber. The crimson blade glowed faintly in the growing daylight as she spun it behind her back as she paced a circle around. Wait.
How does a lightsaber go? How does a lightsaber glow faintly?
That's a good.
It's light. It's gonna be shining bright as hell. It's gonna be the brightest thing around.
But that is what a Sith is, Lily. And the books and games, yeah, that's literally the definition of a Sith.
But okay, so and then she spins it behind her back. So instead of having the blade out and like in a dueling pose in like the Makashi salute, where it's at her side, or in another basic lightsaber fighting pose, she spins the blade behind her back, and presumably it's still there because she doesn't say where her blade is facing.
She's spinning it around her back while she's running a circle around Kylo Ren. I'm trying to imagine that.
Kylo Ren.
I have an image of it in my head, and it's fucking weird. She's like twirling it behind her back while she's running around him.
I love that she put in enough time to go and find some obscure lore that stupid fucking ship is called the Finalizer, but she doesn't take time to actually like read up on the lightsaber forms to describe lightsaber fighting.
And then so she's pacing a circle around Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, who up to this point, it has not been described that he has moved from the on-ramp of the ship.
That's true.
So she's just circling her ship. Like she's got the lightsaber behind her back, presumably straight up and down, and she's just like Naruto posed, like with the unarmed arm in front of her, and is just like walking slightly towards the other end of the ship. That is how this scene is being described to me. That's what I'm visualizing here.
She totally forgot. She just teleported them into arena, fucking Pokemon style.
Yeah, exactly.
Lily, you don't care about the lore, Lily? Yeah, no, she don't. She only likes the lore she likes.
Yeah, exactly. Everything else is garbage. What a lovely way to say you intend... Oh, hold on. Kylo Ren was fuming at being threatened by this relic of a bygone era, as his master Snoke would put it.
Oh, God. No, keep going.
Despite his own desire for a peaceful exchange of information, his ego got the better of him as he activated his lightsaber and charged.
While she's running around him in a circle.
There are 5 thoughts in this 2-sentence paragraph, and they're shoved into 2 sentences. Please stop making these complex, incorrect
bulky.
sentences. It's so bad.
So Kylo Ren is watching this woman who is presumably unarmed, is like holding her blade behind her back, like, according to the previous description,
Oh yes, faintly.
and
So
is
it's not giving
circling him. So she's sidestepping. So she's presumably sidestepping instead of waiting for him to engage her. Then Kylo Ren is just so upset by this act. This act that she is that she is on the defensive,
Oh no.
and just charges her straight up. Because
Damn, he aggroed super fast.
like he didn't come here, like, despite his own desire for a peaceful exchange of information. Then you have no reason to engage in this.
His
Like,
ego? What?
his ego? Why? His ego would have, if this was about his ego, he would have just attacked her on sight.
Yeah, he wouldn't have asked all this exposition just so that we could hear about your cool fucking rewrite of the dark side, even though the fact that the dark side is evil is what makes them cool. Dumbass.
Whew. All right, so let's get into this combat. I'm sure this will be
Oh no.
the premiere of descriptive Star Wars narrative combat.
For the love of God.
This will be on the level of Obi-Wan and Anakin's duel in the Revenge of the Sith novelization. This will be Darth Bane versus Kasim in the first book of the Darth Bane trilogy. This will be so epic. So let's get into this.
It's because they don't fucking... It's just going to be they swung, he ducked, they swung, he ducked. It's like they don't know how to tell story within combat, and it fucking kills me. Let's read it.
Aeliana smirked and blocked his wide swing, keeping the blades locked as she ducked under his arm and slashed down his leg. Ren growled in pain, turning and swinging wildly. When Aeliana parried the attack, kicked Ren off balance before taking a quick slash at his mask, carving a gouge into it and exposing one of his eyes.
Shut the fuck up.
Whew. Okay, so in this scene, in this first engagement, we have of Aeliana blocking a swing that comes from somewhere. It's a wide swing. We don't know where it's aimed. It's not. So presumably it's just a wide over. It's either over. Like, where is this swing going to hit? Where is he aiming? Why is he not? What limb is he targeting?
Just generally at her.
Just in. I swing in your general direction.
If it hits, it hits, I guess. That's what I'm getting out of this, is that he's swinging blind, that there's no thought behind those eyes. Which, of course, would follow her characterization of him.
And then she blocks it, ducks under his arm, which I'm not sure how she's doing, slashes down his leg. Like,
Rip leg, I guess.
Yeah. How long is her lightsaber blade?
Well, it would be
3 inches.
So, like, how is she doing this? I don't understand. If it's down his leg, that implies that she's moving to the side and slashing, like, towards the ground. So she's ducked under his. So she's locked the blades, ducked under his arm, and slashed down the leg. That doesn't make sense. Instead of just a sideways slash towards his thigh.
It sounds like she's trying to bisect his fucking leg.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then how did she get out of the lock? She twisted under his arm?
Yes.
And he was just decided to watch her fiddle around while he bisected her fucking leg.
So, okay, so here's what I'm guessing we're supposed to visualize. Kylo Ren swings wide overhand. because this is the only way this works.
Mm-hmm.
Aeliana blocks it. It pushes the blades upward, ducks under Kylo's arm, and then slashes down without Kylo being able to react in time. In which, Jesus,
Yeah, right.
and
Reflections of a
basically,
dead cat.
like, and is not successful in getting the blade deep enough to where the leg is no longer of use to Kylo Ren, but shallow enough that the fight continues.
That's not how
And
this
then,
works.
and then Kylo growls in pain, not, reacting at all to the fact that his leg has been basically cauterized. He's and cut into.
Also growled like, no, I don't. You wouldn't be growling. You'd be yelling in pain.
Yeah.
I know. I think of growl as like, I'm mad, in pain, and
Like,
yeah, like
like-
that, like that. That's how it would be,
like
and
you
not
can
like.
you can
Ow!
growl in pain, but
I don't think it's appropriate for getting your leg sliced.
it's a better reaction to have him scream out in pain or grunt in pain, something like that, to imply that he did, like, this is not a fun injury for him to have.
Yeah, he just. It's like he got nicked, or he got slapped on the ass
Yeah.
with the flat of a sword.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what? Aeliana then so he turns and swings wildly again. She parries the attack, kicks him off balance, slashes at his mask, as carving a gouge into it and exposing one of his eyes.
How close is she when she cuts his mask open?
Close enough to not get that deep into his leg, but far enough to get through the plastic, vinyl, or metal, whatever is on its face.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
she has to have a really good distance, and only the tip of her lightsaber is actually slashing through his mask.
I guess Aeliana can teleport because she's right up on him for this leg slash. She has to be for it to work.
And down.
But then she teleports just far enough away that the slash isn't fatal. Then teleports back in so she can parry his next attack, and then teleports back out so her blade just catches so she can parries his attack, kicks him off balance, then teleports back to cut at his face. And he doesn't react in any way to that, by the way. Like, humans don't instinctively flinch back when something comes at their face.
Yeah. Just, what the fuck?
Jesus.
Teleportation? I'd honestly watch it if they were teleporting in and out like that, but this is like, she has comic panels stuck in her head, and everything else is like the pro's version of blurring it out.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, this doesn't matter.
Like, where action scenes in comics tend to have like this very stuttered sort of combat style, which is fine because we can because visually comics are a visual medium, so we see things, so we can understand what happens between panels.
You know what this is? This is someone that does not read often enough, because this is what this is all written in the way a visual thinker would think.
Yes.
Read some fucking books, Lily.
She was quite amused. Kylo Ren's form was slow, heavy, and extremely open to counterattack. His movement suggested he was wielding an 80-pound vibroblade rather than a plasma weapon. Okay? I'm just gonna let this go because I don't. Lightsaber physics are weird.
Yeah.
The knight's slow, predictable movements reminded her of the training droid her mother had her practice as a child. The momentary whiff of nostalgia adding to the general entertainment of her opponent's utter worthlessness.
That's not a complete sentence, Lily.
Bitch, I'm God tier. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? I am Mary Sue. Bow to me, bitch.
When she's like, "Oh, you remind me of the child." The momentary whiff of nostalgia adding to the general interest. No, it's not the. It's literally the only thing she has to change. The momentary whiff of nostalgia added to the general entertainment of her opponent's utter worthlessness. Like, come fucking on.
Just
You
one
literally
word, and it's a complete sentence.
No, it's a change in an ending on a tense. That's all. It's in the wrong tense.
You swing your lightsaber like it's a club.
Like it's a club. Oh, that's why it's like it's a club. It should be you swing your lightsaber like a club.
Aliana snickered. What
Yeah.
kind of Jedi are you?
Insert Peter Griffin going, he said it, he said it.
Ren reached up and touched the slice in his mask. He was fuming as he staggered to his feet, swinging his lightsaber down toward Aliana's head. Again, his strike was blocked, and he felt a foot hit his chest and send him back into the sand. Before he could pull himself back up, Aliana's blade was at his throat. Hold up.
Touching his throat.
Okay,
Hold on. Is he on the ground?
Yes. So, in this one sentence, I think, 1 to 2 sentences, is Kylo Ren gets up from where he was presumably like on his knees or knocked on the ground. Swings his lightsaber in an overhead strike. Again.
Atop at her head.
And then she blocks the attack. She blocks it. And kicks it. And then I guess Sparta kicks him.
Yeah, I guess so. Also, it's not. She uses 2 and, which is fucking awful. What it should be is, again, his strike was blocked, and he felt a foot hit his chest, which sent him back into the sand.
Yeah.
Like that's how you write a complex sentence. But also, like, I like having like a chart and like teleporting them down onto the ground to like add them to the scene because she has no idea what the fuck they're doing. This is Sparta. Yeah, because that's
like
the height of
so
cool.
she's presumably double-handed blocking an overhead strike. So Kylo Ren's arms have to be at least center mass. How is she hitting him in the chest with her leg?
That's true.
Child, you need to like not have zoomies right now. Like straight up, he just came and ran in here, jumped up on the desk, then got back down and went under my bed.
Oh, that's so cute. I loved it when my very old and fat cat would get the zoomies because all of his 20 fucking pounds would get shook across the house as he zoomed.
So how is she hitting him in the chest? It would make sense if she hit him in the stomach, because that's a relatively open area. But if he's center mass, like if his blade is center mass, that's where she blocked. What? Unless Kylo Ren is either shorter than her or taller than her, there is no way she kicked him directly in the chest.
She definitely is shorter because you saw how small she was in comparison to Rey, and fucking Adam Driver is what, 7 foot?
I think no, I think he's like 6'5", something like that.
God damn.
He is not a small human being, Adam Driver.
Yeah. Kylo Ren is.
Should never wear black pants and be shirtless. I'm sorry. It fucks his that scene in The Last Jedi with him shirtless just fucks his whole body proportion to insane levels. And I'm fairly certain it's the lighting, the background, and the fact that he's wearing pitch black pants.
I think it's where he set his waist at because like it doesn't look like the correct spot because like high-waisted on men is really nice. Like if you think of marching band people and their waists, but he just looks wide in it. And then also he looks like a kid that's in fancy clothes that his mom put him into. Like the way he turns around and is really stiff about it, which I personally love. I think it's fucking hilarious. He's a shirtless wall,
bro.
I heard Kylo Ren had an 8-pack, guys. I love to think that Matt the radar technician is 100% canon.
And then, after this miraculous kick to the chest, before he could pull himself back up, Aliana's blade was at his throat. So Kylo Ren has now lost to an OC Mary Sue, the actual movie canon Mary Sue, and has defeated one black guy.
Her first.
That's it. Kylo Ren has defeated one black man.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Kylo Ren's win-loss record, 5 losses, is victory over this one black guy.
I love the fucking connotations that it has to do with him being black. That Kylo Ren is like, actually, I want to try because I hate those. Did someone say that they visually altered Ren during his shirtless scene and that's why he looks odd?
I have no idea.
That would be interesting. I'll go look into it. If so, that's fucking funny.
Widening his upper body to make him look more visually pleasing.
Oh, that's fair. When I think about like Adam Driver and everything else, he doesn't have that triangle.
Nah, he's a square man.
Upper butter.
He's a rectangle.
We love our rectangle men, but I can see that if they used body morphing for that.
You have 2 choices. Aliana glared down at him. Leave or die. Okay, why? You have someone...
He knows you're a Sith.
Like, he knows you're a Sith, which you haven't... Which Lily has basically established in the first chapter, that Aliana is perfectly happy to tell just about everyone she's a Sith, except Rey. Rey does not know she's a Sith. With which Rey, given, basic deductive reasoning, should know she's a Sith, but whatever.
I know, right? Especially with all the fucking slip-ups.
Yeah. Why is she offering mercy to him?
Yeah, Sith like killing people.
I want to be cool and dark side, but I don't want to do any of the evil things that make me feel bad. But I think their outfits are cool, so I'm evil, but I'm gonna do all of the hero shit.
Even in SWTOR, when you play like a light side Sith, you still kill people with relative frequency.
Oh yeah, you're still pretty blasé.
How the fuck are you a light side Sith?
It actually turns out, what it turns out being is that the light side Sith tends to be just an Empire patriot.
That's true.
That's it. Like, for the Sith warrior and the Sith Inquisitor, if you do light side decisions all throughout the game, at least in the main story missions, it's always just, this guy is an Empire patriot. He likes the Empire and wants it to stand.
He likes the general populace and perhaps is not entirely on board with killing one of your men just because you want some entertainment. Like,
he views things as, everyone, most of the Imperial army and like everyone else that's not like the Sith and stuff as tools to defeat the Jedi.
Okay, but you're still killing Jedi and Republic soldiers. So sure, and that doesn't make you tap into the dark side at all. Just being logical.
No, see, because they take the liberal mindset where, from a certain point of view, the Republic are the bad guys.
Oh, fuck off.
I mean, it's true for the Sith warrior. If you're light side, one of the
wait. Okay, so is Anakin a light side Sith then?
No, he's a dark side light user.
He killed a bunch of children Yep, he killed a bunch of Jedi, a bunch of children. Had helped the what was it, the 501st Order or whatever.
The
Helped all those
501st.
clone troopers kill all the Jedi, and he's like, "Oh, that's fine, because from my point of view, the Jedi were evil. So I'm still in the right."
So I'm actually still light-sided. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just fucked up the prequel trilogy.
And honestly, I think the Sith Warrior has a scene where like you confront your inner self, and if you're dark side, the light side guy basically presents the argument like, okay, look, if the dark side were that powerful, why would your master be so scared of a little girl? Like straight up, that's how it is. Like Darth Barris, one of the master that you have in the Sith Warrior storyline, is afraid of this one Jedi Padawan because she has this unique ability to see within the hearts of the people So she would be able to tell if you had allegiance to the Empire. And Barris fears her because his power base is that's like he has power base throughout the galaxy, spread throughout the galaxy. That's his information and his power base. And he is afraid of this little girl who can basically screw it all up. And that's the argument the light side version of your character makes to you.
I need
Which is actually a really, really good argument. Like, okay,
Yeah.
so you're following the dark side, right? He's like, yeah, because it's going to make me powerful. If power was all that yeah, but then what? If Barris is so powerful, if power is all that matters, essentially, why is Barris afraid of this one Jedi apprentice? Why has he gone through the effort to send you after on what is effectively a hunter-killer mission after there's one Jedi who shouldn't matter to him at all because he is that powerful?
Did she become a companion?
Yeah, she does.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I remember. Yeah.
It's like, so you have two choices: leave or die. Ren laid but helplessly. Ren laid all but helplessly in the sand, unsure how this confrontation swung so swiftly in the favor of the Sith. For all his training, all of the darkness within him, he still laid there, bested by this stranger. "I'll leave," he said, glaring at Aliana with hatred in his one visible eye.
Yeah, God damn it. Just rewrite your shit. Reread it. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't.
Aliana deactivated her lightsaber and jerked her head towards his shuttle. "Well, go on."
Okay,
Well,
wait.
Then.
Okay, this raises an interesting question. Okay, so she damages his mask. So does he just have a spare when the Force Awakens happens?
Yeah.
And then if that's the case, then he broke his mask in The Last Jedi and then welded it back together in The Rise of Skywalker. So did he only had two masks with him?
Yeah, he only commissioned 2, and that's why he was so upset when he smashed it up out of anger, because
That was
the original
one.
Yeah, the ROM file that they had to 3D print it was lost.
"Well, go then, and don't trouble me again or I'll have your head." Wow, I feel so threatened.
Oh, yeah, shut the fuck up.
Mary Sue has threatened me. Oh no.
Very too.
Ren got up and slowly walked to his shuttle. Shouldn't he be limping?
Yeah.
Slowly limped to his shuttle, implying that he has been through a fight and his leg was fucking slashed.
Lily completely forgot about that detail the moment she pressed the period on that sentence.
The sheer humiliation of his defeat only making him want to lash out at the insolent Sith even more. He restrained himself, even in his furious state, he could tell he was outmatched. Kylo Ren knows the Queen is before him.
Kylo Ren knows a Mary Sue when he fucking sees one. Well, until he sees Rey, I guess.
He internalized this hatred, allowed it to fill him up.
No.
As Snoke had taught him, now he had a goal to reach, an opponent to overcome on his path to power.
But we'll just ignore that while the sequel trilogy is happening.
He internalized his homophobia, allowed it to fill him up. As Snoke had taught him the anti-gay, now he had a goal to reach: de-gayify the lesbian.
This Sith must be strong, he thought.
So the next time they fight, he's just going to electrocute her.
That Jedi was pathetic. That Jedi was pathetic, Ileana said as she watched the shuttle take off. Who are you talking to? Why are you talking to? Why are you saying this out loud?
I realize that this is supposed to be a transition and supposed to be like a split cut. But you don't make any indication. Yeah, there's no indication.
Do a page break, or just do what other authors do and put a line like you. We've seen you do a page break. Hold on.
Yeah, she knows how to do that.
Right there.
Yeah, that's HR. That's a really easy command. I'll write it over, but yeah, it's literally like 5 characters.
It's a page break, or just do an underline and just click space until you reach the other end of the page.
Or at least in this, it's so it's uploaded in HTML. Add a couple of paragraph tags to make a big space in between it. So there's actually sometimes you don't even need to do that if you're copying it over from like Word. What the fuck are you writing this on?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure like Caesar asked this like last time about why none of the paragraphs were indented. I think it's just the way AO3 just uploads the document, accepts documents. Where were we? That Jedi was pathetic. Ileana said as she watched the shuttle take off, looking confused. What? Excuse me. That's who leads the Knights of Ren? He fights like he's never held a lightsaber before. Ileana had considered killing him, but it would have been unwise. Killing Ren would have brought the entire First Order on her tail. Why? He leads.
No, if letting him go would bring the First Order on your tail.
Like
you think he doesn't want payback?
He's one of the primary leaders in the First Order, and Hux doesn't like him. So the fuck would Hux care?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Died on a backwater desert planet.
Hux is just waiting for a moment to kill Kylo. He fucking hates him. Oh my god, just to add insult to injury, there's a fucking page break right there.
Yeah. So proof that we can have the page break. Proof that we can have the page break, but not where it's actually needed.
Nope.
On her tail. It likely would have been brought onto her tail anyway, but at least striking a bargain had a chance to let her leave without being pursued. To Odessen. Wait, is she going to Odessen? Why is she going to Odessen? She couldn't shake the Jedi's clumsy lightsaber skills from her mind. He had to at least been trained by someone. Why did he handle his weapon with such needless weight?
She thinks she's so fucking clever. She's like, oh my god, they did Kylo Ren so badly. That's the 5th beer.
Ileana shook her head in confusion as she headed back to the Fury. Withdrawing the ramp and sealing the door, she collapsed onto her bed in her quarters and stared up the ceiling. How exactly did such a weak Jedi become commander of an entire military force? Why did his lightsaber have exhaust vents? Why was she still wearing her Sith robes even though they were infested with sand? This entire paragraph just doesn't need to be there.
Awful.
Like, this entire paragraph does not need to exist. This feels like Lily was just like, I rewatched The Force Awakens to get the basic plot details, and started asking fucking questions. And now I'm going to rant about it.
Yeah.
I don't think his lightsaber had exhaust vents on it.
She's talking about those 2 side points, which I think
Those are cross guard. That's a cross guard.
I
They're
think
just,
actually in the lore.
I'd assume in the context of the movie, they're basically just 2 extra blades. They serve as both defense and potentially offense.
What I remember hearing from like the lead up to the movie was that Kylo Ren built his own lightsaber, but it was unstable just as he was, and so that those cross guards, yes, they are cross guards. When talking about it in design wise, the lore explanation is that they're exhaust vents for the volatile crystal that kind of pushes out this rough lightsaber. That's why whenever it's zoomed up on his lightsaber, it's a bit choppy. I remember that being a thing, and that's probably what she's referencing.
She jumped out of bed and wrenched her tunic over her head, letting out a sigh of relief as she felt the entire desert of Jakku fall to her feet and off her skin. Okay, so Lily has clearly never been to the beach.
Oh yeah, she just got all that fucking sand in her bed.
Like, she got all the fucking sand in her bed, but B, if you've ever been to the beach and like, even if you don't like sit in the sand, you can just sit, like, even if you don't like sit in the sand will find its way throughout your body, and the only way to get it off you is a shower.
Mm-hmm. I know, what's this bullshit where it's her skin is sandophobic, doesn't immediately just cling. That's what Anakin is sandophobic. Yeah, exactly.
Once I find what vanished into the desert, I'm never coming back here, she groaned, kicking her boots off and making a beeline for the shower. In Star Wars canon, it's called the refresher. Just a nitpick. Just a nitpick. It's not really a big deal, but it is. Jesus, child.
No, she should know because she's in Star Wars fan fiction, and that's a thing. I've been reading Star Wars fiction, and I know it's a refresher too. So she would know enough to go and check what a stupid fucking ship name is, but not the fact that she hasn't read enough to know that people call it the refresher here in this corner of the internet. What a poser. Star Wars poser.
The annoying distraction that was the Dark Jedi far from her mind. And page break. Aliana stepped out of the shower. So, what the fuck is this page break here for?
I guess the really long and descriptive section where she's describing her OC in the shower. No, this literally is so appropriate for just a paragraph break, not a page break.
Like this page break doesn't need to be there. The next paragraph could be this.
Yeah.
Like the page break needs to be, hold on, here. Right here.
Yeah, it really does.
It needs to be about 3 paragraphs up.
It's so close.
A loose and comfortable robe wrapped around herself. She yelped as her feet touched the cold metal of the ship and made a mental note to put down some carpets in the main living areas.
You want carpet right outside of your fucking shower? You want a 70s bathroom where they put carpet in their fucking...
Ugh.
Also, carpet on a ship? Get the fuck out of here.
She collapsed into a heap on one of the couches and sighed happily. She felt clean, relaxed, and had a moment of respite before she was forced to go out into the desert again and ruin her entire life.
Cue the laugh track.
Yep. I know, right?
Cloak next time, she muttered to herself. Less sand getting into the folds of my robes.
Oh my god, she's talking to herself like a fucking adventure game protagonist.
Yeah. 2VR8 took that moment to waddle into the lounge of the ship from the engine room. Master, I do not wish to intrude on your relaxation time, but I couldn't help but hear a commotion outside. I was checking the hyperdrive, which is operating at peak efficiency, by the way.
Oh my god, breathe.
Jesus.
These are such terrible long sentences.
Might I inquire what transpired and if we are in any danger? Okay, so This droid, instead of coming outside when it heard the commotion to check on what the fuck was going on, decided, I'm just going to sit in the ship, keep checking this hyperdrive. By the way, the hyperdrive repair was complete and is operating at peak efficiency.
Does this person have ADHD? This is how I talk.
I guess so. I don't know.
This is
You
what
would be
a
the one
fucking
to know.
ADHD.
You've got the T blogs.
Mm-hmm. The T blogs. The what?
The T blogs. Like the two blogs.
Oh, the
you
T
found-
blogs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I couldn't even fucking remember my own slang words. Yeah, no, I have the T blogs. No, I know she's some sort of like, I think she's autistic. Or it wouldn't surprise me, but like, yeah, they're like, oh, by the way, like trying to tell you something and then, oh yeah, reminds me of this other thing, completely stops in the middle of what they were originally saying, makes a comment about that observation, and then immediately returns to the original thought without even pretending like this went off course.
Oh, like what Quentin Reviews does.
Yeah.
When he goes like, you know what? I fucking hate Trump.
Yeah. Basically.
The First Order was outside, Eliana muttered, sitting up and brushing her wet hair out of her eyes. And yes, we are in danger, but we can't get out of it until I find a droid that Jedi was looking for. Okay, so you know it was a droid. What? What?
She does know what it is.
So she does know what it is.
That was the whole point of her not immediately solving her problem.
Wait, how did she know about? Did Kylo even ask her about the droid?
No, she at the beginning of the
Lily, did you not reread this before you uploaded it?
Nope. I bet
You
what they
didn't do
did.
like a second draft of it.
They were typing it and they got done with it, and then 5 weeks later, they're like, "Oh yeah," and they keep typing it. They don't even fucking remember what they wrote.
Quentin Reviews did 5 hours on Victorious.
Oh yeah, I listened to it.
I don't know that Victorious has enough content worth examining for 5 hours.
It has 2 seasons. He finds a way, but he has a lot of fucking waffle. And then a lot of things that he could probably condense down.
Yeah.
And I put it on in the background while I was doing some art because it was 5 hours, and I was like, I need something to stimulate my brain while I do this handwork. Anyway.
Oh dear, 2V said solemnly. Perhaps this time I am finally on the cusp of my inevitable destruction. Jesus. If I may be so bold to ask, Master. Commas, okay. Commas everywhere. Where they probably don't need to be. I'm not a master of grammar, but I am.
No, I think that's proper.
Okay with it.
It's just a really old way of talking. It goes, if I may be so bold, Clayton, why are you involving ourselves? Kind of like that's sort of the tone, and that is an actual grammar thing.
Why are we involving ourselves with the affairs of Jedi? I mean, after what befell Master Mayrick, I was under the belief that you wouldn't want to go anywhere near them again. Okay, so
as you know. Sorry, hold on. You go.
So this implies that during their time, sorry, during the 30-year gap between this movie and Return of the Jedi, Luke at some point encountered Aliana's mother and cut her down. That's what this implies.
Does it though?
So it's before. No, this has to be before the birth of Luke, because Luke and Leia, because of the affairs of Jedi weren't common even after the end of the original trilogy. So the only time that she would actually really have encountered with the affairs of Jedi would be in the prequel era. So this bitch must be 60 to have
guess.
have a mom.
I don't know. It's just it's weird. Like the implication is that the Jedi at some point encountered Myrick and cut her down, which is why Aliana doesn't want to be involved. But what timeline are we working with? Luke's Jedi Order fell. Oh, if Kylo Ren's little small form is to be accurate, probably 10, 15 years after the 10, if The Last Jedi is to be believed, Kylo Ren was at least in his teen years when Luke tried to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of whether Luke would have done that or not. So it had to be 15. So it had to be before the 15-year before The Force Awakens happens, because this is happening as The Force Awakens happens. So 15 years prior to that, where Luke attempts to kill Kylo because of the growing darkness within him, and Return of the Jedi, which is the beginning of the 30-year gap. So somewhere in there, Luke found out about this secret order of Sith that had hidden themselves for more than 1,000 years and went and slew one of its members. I guess.
But only one of them.
But only one. He didn't take Aliana away and attempt to train her to be a Jedi, tried to turn her to the light. Aliana didn't reject the Force and move on.
What's stupid, actually, is I feel like the way OC is characterized, the mom would actually be friendly and on the same ground as Luke. So I don't even think Luke would have slayed her. Like, I don't think any Jedi would have slayed her. Because she's just a Jedi in black robes. That's what Aliana is.
So far, her actions have indicated that, yeah, she's just a really mean Jedi in black robes.
A bitchy Jedi, okay?
Yeah. Oh dear, perhaps this. Oh no, we're here. All right. Aliana looked up to 2V, her lips pursed as she thought about why she was doing this. She wasn't being held but to the promise she made to a dying man. She was keeping it to it of her own volition. Of course, this wasn't. Oh God. Okay, so of course, this wasn't no ordinary Jedi situation. This ain't no ordinary Jedi situation. We're in a unique Jedi situation.
Oh my God, all of this old formal English, and there ain't no Jedi situation. The fuck?
So we got old formal, very, very formal, very proper English grammar, her address, things like that, and we're country hillbillies. We're using double negatives.
Specifically, the OC Mary Sue, who's perfect, which is why you know that was unintentional, because there's never let her precious OC sound like a fucking backyard hick.
The Jedi believes himself to be my kin.
Shut the
fuck
up.
And I won't take such a personal insult lying down.
To say, was it no ordinary Jedi situation, he thinks himself my kin. Like, a proper English word, like a southern drawl, it's just the tonal shift.
Oh, but of course, Master. 2V replied, bowing slightly. The First Order and the Galactic Empire before it are but shallow reflections of the proud lineage of your Sith heritage. And such a cheap imitation cannot go unabated after all. The Galactic Empire won. Like, Lilly, You have to understand, the Galactic Empire was the culmination of over 1,000 years of planning, practice, and steadily growing the power of the dark side to it within a singular individual.
Mm-hmm.
Like Darth Darth Plagueis is literally the product of a Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Tenebris, arranging it so two people with with his ideal genetic traits to produce a perfect physical specimen of his species to meet, fall in love, marry each other, and have offspring. Like, that's how deep this shit goes. Thank you, 2V. That will be enough for brown nosing for today. Of course, Master. Said before waddling away. Eliana stepped into the cockpit to look outside. The sun was barely rising, and she'd been out all night searching for the droid. Again, how does she know it's a droid? Does knowledge Mary Sue was so powerful, the knowledge suddenly came upon her. It was a droid.
Oh, I also wanted to mention something. I'm sorry I went silent there for a second. Something fell over, but the droid going, oh, the First Order and the Galactic Emperor before was shallow reflection of your lineage. Like, this is all information that OC should know. And so it's the as you know trope, which is a super forced way of conveying information to the audience, even though everyone there knows this.
I feel. Go ahead. Sorry.
Actually,
my point can wait.
Actually, no. I lost. I think that was the end of the point.
Okay.
Sorry. Going back to our discussion about Star Wars villains having stupid names. Darth Tenebris is another example. It comes from the Latin word tenebris, which just means darkness. So his name is Darth Darkness.
I fucking love this tradition. It's so fucking stupid. Oh.
I mean, at least the name is somewhat intimidating.
It does go with a dark thing, but also like it sounds cool, but you also know it's ridiculous. And like when you're immersing yourself in it, you suspend that disbelief. It's same reason why Superman can shoot lasers and we love it. But also when you take it out of that context and you really examine what the fuck these are, it's hilarious. It's stupid.
Exactly. It's so cheesy.
I love it.
It's all glorious Swiss. I get the feeling that this droid will be a vessel for exposition throughout this entire story.
V2 or 2V?
Yes.
V for explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. I'm just imagining what she's gonna make that droid do when she and Rey finally get together.
She's gonna tape the sex tape, don't you know?
Yeah.
Darth Ed.
Me and Rey are gonna have lesbian sex, and you are going to watch the entire time.
Yep. And actually, you know what Darth Ed makes me think of is the Darth Lord, but the thing that makes him evil and on the dark side is the fact that he just endlessly edges his sexual partner. That's it. That's the whole thought.
The sun was barely rising. She'd been out all night searching for the droid. Now that she knew what she was looking for, how did you come across that information? Kylo Ren certainly didn't fucking tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Magic, I suppose. It might be easier to locate it, but for now, she desperately needed some sleep. Proud lineage, she scoffed. I'm a drifter who works as a merc to get by.
What? Oh, so this is just a common thing that people hire this random person with a red lightsaber and they don't think that's noteworthy at all. So she's just a faceless drifter, unseen. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's mentioned in the last chapter, and I think this small detail went over it, but the first time she meets Rey, Rey points out the lightsaber and is like, "Are you a Jedi?" Which Rey shouldn't know what a Jedi fucking is, by the way. But moving on from that stupid, we have bigger stupid.
Mhm.
Apparently Aliana is just like, "Oh, it doesn't actually work." Like she tells people that ask about it, it doesn't actually work, but it's a good bluff.
Ah.
Eh.
No, I don't see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I only pretended I understood, but I don't.
But we need to move away from that stupid because it's about to be eclipsed by bigger stupid.
Oh boy.
She trudged her way to her quarters and sealed the door shut, collapsing onto the bed in a heap. Her fatigue seemed to magnify tenfold as she slipped under the covers and soon drifted off into a peaceful slumber. Okay,
You already
so
fixed that sentence as you were reading it.
wait, really? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, no, it says her fatigue seemed to magnify tenfold as she slipped under the covers and she soon drifted off to sleep. You took out she and said slipped under the covers and soon drifted off into a peaceful slumber. That's a better sentence. She just made a conjoined two independent sentences that could have been deleted the and period, and it's literally independent.
Okay, and I'll note this. In the 2 chapters we've been here, Aliana has not used the Force in any way.
Wait a second. I just realized something. Well, yeah, that's really bad. First, I'll address this. Yeah, the Force has not been used at all, and it's barely even mentioned in its passive effects.
Did she not use it when she was fighting Kylo?
No, it's
Nope,
not
she
mentioned
didn't.
she used it.
No, it was just swordplay.
Yeah, we can generally it's assumed that when 2 Force users enter combat, they're using the Force to physically augment themselves to increase speed and agility and whatnot.
Well, those
Which
are
is
passive
why,
abilities.
yeah. But this, if she was truly like dark side Force users, even light side Force users can go for days and days and like up to, I think, Bane does, I think, if you're a light sider, you can go probably about a month with just water. Or you don't necessarily need to sleep because the Force will provide that for you. And then Bane goes like 2 weeks without food, without food and without sleep, exploring the tombs on Korriban. And the only thing he has with him are like water pills. Like the
No, she's just so skilled that she didn't need to use the Force to fight a Force user. Basically.
It's like, actually, hold on. I'll leave that up a little bit longer so people can actually read it.
I will point this out before we move on, is that I think it has happened in both. To end your chapter or to end your scene with them going to sleep is the laziest fucking thing ever. It's actually really bad. You just cut out the part where they go to sleep. It's just...
Yeah, like collapsing into the bed in a heap imply like we already know they're probably gonna sleep.
It's just wasted time. Like, it's not important that she slept. It's just lazy because that feels like the end of a scene because it's the end of a day. You're just being a bad writer. There's better ways to do it.
All right, so page break, and we're changing perspective, which hopefully, unless Rey interacts with another character, will stay Rey's. All right, so Rey's eyes snapped open as she suddenly jerked upright in her hammock. She was unsure as to what it was that actually woke her. Not a nightmare, that was for certain. At least none she could immediately remember. No, this was more of a bad feeling. Good God. No. Leave the A feeling shit out of it.
Oh God, no. They're saying
The
they're
A
saying the
feeling.
thing.
But also, what's the ironic is I know that she's trying to bring up the bad feeling reference, but it makes sense. If you wake up after a nightmare, you usually don't remember it, but you know what you do feel? bad.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
saying it couldn't be a nightmare because I have a bad feeling when I woke up. Like that's contradictory. Like what? Like I had a nightmare. Fucking made me feel like shit with my own brain using my own insecurities against me, but I thought that shit was funny.
So she could faintly recall the awful sound of scraping plasma and the smell of burnt steel. Okay, so where would this have come into play?
What? Yeah, like what are you talking about? Are you talking about the fight with Kylo and the smell?
I guess they're referencing that, but Kylo is Kylo's helmet made out of steel?
I think it's supposed to be metal, but like
It's supposed to be some form of metal, but why is it specifically steel instead of Durasteel?
Oh, because she doesn't fucking know. Well, it can't Durasteel not be cut, but this is funny. I want to acknowledge Joe Crazy says, so is this the part where they scissor? Yes.
Probably.
Plasma scrapes. Yeah, there's no such thing as a scraping plasma. It melts. What the fuck?
But again, this lends credence to what you were saying a minute ago about nightmares, Cedar. Like, oh, I have a bad feeling. I vaguely recall the sound of an awful sound of scraping plasma and the smell of burnt steel.
But this
Okay,
also
maybe I just had a vivid nightmare.
And with the nightmare thing, it feels like it should be recalling back towards the fight with Kylo, but this sounds like it's written in a way a premonition would be told. She's like, oh, I don't know, like I had a nightmare that I saw like awful scraping plasma and burnt steel, like that's in her future. And so, first of all, you're not clear, and two, sorry, I lost my thought.
Like, it's not the way it's described. It implies that that this bad feeling is supposed to be a premonition, but instead of being vague, instead of writing it in a way that it couldn't be written, instead of writing it in a way like Rey had strange dreams and recalled here like the smell of burnt steel and the sound of lightsaber combat, or the clashing of blades and blaster fire, something like that.
Yeah.
This can easily be written off as she had a nightmare.
Oh wait, no, I misread it. I thought we were still in Eliela's perspective, but it's Rey. So Rey is perceiving the fight that did happen. So this is about the Kylo fight, but this is all really fucking stupid.
Yeah,
that doesn't make it any better.
Weirdly written, like the fact that it specifies not a nightmare is what the issue is here.
Not a nightmare that was certain. She knows it wasn't a nightmare.
But
scraping plasma is so dumb.
How do you know if you can only faintly recall these two small details? How are you certain it wasn't a nightmare?
Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare to me.
And if it's a premonition, it's not written correctly to the way that it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling herself out of her hammock, she rubbed her head and tried to process what she was feeling, and felt something slink into the pit of her stomach as her gut told her it came from the direction of the Fury, where she'd met that girl. Was she okay? Was she in danger? There was a cold, sinking feeling in her stomach at the thought of anything happening to her, which she tried desperately to push down as she gathered her things. There were plenty of components to salvage, and she wasn't about to waste it worrying about someone she barely knew.
Jesus,
okay,
was that
so
one sentence? I felt like that whole paragraph was one sentence.
It felt to me like it was one sentence too.
Okay, she has a long history. The last chapter implies that she has a long history with, I guess, getting in the pants of women. But she has one good conversation with Rey, and all of a sudden she's in love with her.
Or at least Ray's caught feelings after meeting this stranger in the desert.
Stranger who's probably also kind of a cunt to her. Like, let's be real. I haven't read it, but I can already tell that she does not treat her well.
OC is fairly nice to Ray, but she's kind of bitchy.
Yeah.
Like she has bitchy moments where, but then it's like she cooks her dinner and pays her in like double what she told her she would give her. Or so, you know.
That's love bombing. That's all that.
Yeah.
Why would she care? She talked to her once. Yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Now, it's the horny writing. It's the emotional horny. The horny of the heart.
Ray's caught feelings.
Yep.
Which, you know, in characters that have it, which this is just really bad feelings building just in general. Like if you're intending to have two characters pair up, having them be steadily build feelings, this is not how you do it.
Yeah.
Or for characters that it's implied within the canon of the story, or at least within your own headcanon, that they've known each other for years, so they know each other. They've interacted several times.
Yeah.
And they've interacted for a long time. Then it makes sense that this sort of thing, that you'd have this elevation to a different level of relationship than just I've had one conversation with Mary Sue and now I'm in love.
Uh-huh. Typical fan fiction.
Yep. Gathering her staff, her net, and her facial protection, Ray made her way to the speeder. Climbing into the seat, she steeled herself and devoted her entire focus on going to work. She was accustomed to shifting her concentration into scavenging in order to discard whatever complicated feelings she was having.
Oh my god, that is such a
Wait,
wordy sentence.
shouldn't there be like shouldn't there be one of those page splits right there? Since we're shifting over from OC to Ray.
No, because this page break here is shifting from OC's
It's all been Ray.
perspective, so this is all Ray's perspective.
Oh shit! Never mind. I thought we were still talking about OC.
No,
that's okay. It's really fucking hard to know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell considering Lily's shifts. Ray made her way to the speeder, climbing into the seat. She steeled herself and devoted her entire focus to going to work. It did her no good to dwell on them, not when she had to survive. Okay.
See, that's a proper, like, that's not a complete sentence. It's not a correct sentence, but the phrase of "it did no good to dwell on her, not when she had to survive," that's an emphasis.
Yes,
that's the
exactly.
proper time to break the rules of grammar.
Exactly. But worse still is that Ray was paid in ration packs. Yes, the day before this. Like the whole reason that she would go out to scavenge would be because she needs food. She was paid yesterday in about 30 ration packs. She has effectively 2 to 3 months of food.
Because she eats 1/4 portion per meal.
Yeah, exactly. And so now so we're just ignoring the fact that they had this interaction and that she was paid to install this thing because we need to have her meet BB-8. That's all this is. This is entirely ignoring the events of the first chapter to have the plot progress, to have the movie plot progress, in order for the fan fiction's plot to progress.
There's no acknowledgement of that fact that happened, that she got all of this food. There's no reflection on that. It would have been at least something if she had 30 ration packs and she got robbed like a bitch, and that's what ended up having to make her go out and do her job. But see, that would be clever. That'd be at least kind of like funny and ironic. Well, it's not that good. I'm starting to fall asleep. I'm so sorry.
You're good. All right. And survive she did. She managed to beat her personal best on valuable components pulled from the wreckage of a Star Destroyer. She knew Plut would rip her off, but she kept some of the most valuable parts. Wait, why?
Yeah,
Like,
good question.
so Plut is gonna rip you off, but she's keeping more valuable parts? Why? Like that doesn't make any sense. Why is she keeping valuable parts from if this is all about survival, why is she keeping valuable parts from the from being sold? Someone help. Help. The right help. The story has gone off the rails. Her encounter with Eliana the day before had taught her to hold on to certain things, as there were there may be ways to get better prices for them later. She
How?
stashed. Yeah, that was just like. Why wouldn't she put it down to just a lucky windfall? Why would Ray not put this entire thing down to a lucky windfall on her part, or that this Jedi, that this person happens to be walking by with something that she happened to have the exact part this person needed. Like, I don't get it. She stashed a high capacity fuel converter and a tiny shard of kyber into a small compartment in her speeder and hung the rest out on the side. She was right. Plut did undersell her, but thankfully she hadn't given up on the converter or the kyber. She hadn't given up the converter or the kyber. She took her quarter portion and left. It was still food, and she'd rather not burn all the ration packs that Eliana had given her, unless she really needed them on days when she couldn't get anything of value. But she's so, like, she has months of food, and even if she only has a quarter portion, and so what? She would only need to passively generate she would only basically need to passively generate the income. Her mind wandered back to Eliana. The girl gave Ray an even better deal, and she promised when she came back to her shelter and realized that she possessed double the agreed upon portions.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to go give my cat his medicine.
You're good.
Where are we at?
We're right here.
Okay.
It all but baffled her as to why she did that. That much food couldn't just be given away on a whim. Why would she willingly part with so many supplies? Perhaps there was indeed kindness and generosity left in the galaxy outside of Jakku.
She wants to eat your asshole.
Oh, now she's actually reflecting on the food. But she should realize that she doesn't have to go work out in the awful sun.
Yeah, and she's apparently from this one interaction with Eliana, Ray has now learned to conserve more valuable parts just in case. Instead of putting it down to being a lucky windfall on her part, or that she happened to have the right, like, instead of putting this down entirely to coincidence, since Ray has just been like, all right, I'm gonna hoard these really valuable pieces away, so I might have them later.
That doesn't make sense. Why not just get the payment for the things and stash that away?
Because that would make sense.
That's a lot easier to stash. Like, oh, let me just hide my inventory from my customer base. No, because the price of goods changes, but the price of what you want in the end doesn't. Think, Ray. Think, Ray. Think. God, I'm falling asleep in my chair. I might have to log off. How much is left in this chapter?
Quite a bit. We might have
Yeah,
might have
might
to
have to-
pull the shoot on this one
Yeah, might just do,
and come back again.
yeah, just do part 2 or part 2.2 next week.
Jesus.
Part 2.2. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much. This is 47 chapters. I don't know if you want to do all of it.
Oh, I doubtful we'll do all of it. We'll probably maybe just do like the first 5 at maybe at the very least the first 5, and I don't know how far.
We might do all of it, but it's gonna be spread out. Like
Yeah.
it might be a once a month kind of thing. Like if we're gonna do it, it's gonna take us a while.
Yep. Oh my god.
All right, so I guess that'll be it for today.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be it for today, guys. It's
Thanks for
11
thanks for
o'clock, which
joining
means
us.
midnight Cedars time. So
Oh yeah, and like I think 2 hours is enough to subject them to this torture.
nah, I think Joe and Legacy are pretty entertained. So
Yeah, there we go. I'm glad it came on high as balls. Like, what the fuck? Oh god.
but
Okay.
anyway,
Unfortunately, I never got drunk throughout the whole thing, and I had this glass of Jägermeister with me.
Tolerated this sober?
What's that?
Said you tolerated this shit sober? Damn.
I did
No.
too, but I'm applying for I'm applying for jobs, so I'm
Oh fuck.
I'm taking a tea break so I can not pop hot just in case someone drug tests me.
Oh fuck. I'm getting a new job too, but it's fully remote. But they're gonna fucking test me. Ah shit. Oh, time to detox. I mean, this is I'm smoking Delta 8. This is completely legal.
Yeah.
But they don't really kind of differentiate between the two.
No.
Okay, what makes it different from the illegal stuff?
Very little. I really don't. No, I don't actually. I don't actually know why. I don't know
There's
how they got around it.
a little bit of difference, but not enough to matter over
The illegal,
much.
yeah, the illegal stuff has a more pleasant effect, while the Delta 8 is a bit harsher. I'd say it's not as smooth going as the illegal stuff. Not that I would know because I don't take illegal stuff.
Sure, I believe you.
I have the receipts. This shit's legal.
Anyway,
Okay, I don't see receipts. All I see is your thumbnail.
That is because you only need to listen to me.
all right.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, Cedar, for joining us for this 2 hours and almost 30 minutes of bad writing and
I love fan fiction. It's such a shit weight pile, and sometimes you find a gem.
generally I tend to find /fic has a lot of those gems. I've rarely run into fic that at least /fic that I have been like, this is genuinely just awful writing.
Yep, that's pretty fair. Is that the gay? Is that
Yes.
what that means? Okay, yeah. I have to wade through a lot of terrible hetero stuff
Yeah,
to get to the good hetero stuff.
because hetero stuff is all like OCs and wish fulfillment.
Oh yeah, that's the point.
Oh, the slash fiction is not wish fulfillment at all.
I mean, it is, but it's a different kind.
Oh my god, we're so fucking Midwestern. We're trying to sign off for 5 minutes.
Welcome to the South, ladies and gentlemen. This is
Yeah.
your goodbye.
Oh wait, are you from the Midwest or are you from the South?
Yes. No, we're from Texas.
We're both in
yeah.
Texas, so
You're both in Texas. I'm from Kansas. That's about the same. That's this very similar culture where it does take
Yeah.
5 hours to say goodbye with your hand on the door.
yep. Like even at big family gatherings, you gotta hug everybody. You gotta say bye to everybody, and that
Yep.
starts like 3 different conversations. And so it takes about 15 minutes to get out the door.
Yep.
All right. So southern southern cultural attributes aside, southern long goodbyes aside. Thank you all so much for watching. Joe Crazy, you are a brave man living where you live. And we'll be back next week with hopefully something different. Or actually, no, we'll be back next week to finish this chapter, and then after that, who knows?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Later. Bye.